Right now, like your brain is lying to you. It's editing what you see, deleting what you remember, and fabricating sensations that never happened. And the disturbing part, it's doing all of this on purpose. Those moments when reality feels off, when you swear you've lived this exact second before, or a word you've said 1,000 times that suddenly sounds alien. Those aren't bugs, they're features. Here's every glitch your brain is running, and the unsettling reason it needs each one. You walk into a room and suddenly, with absolute certainty, you know you've been here before. Not just the room, this exact moment. The light on the wall, the sound of that chair. You've lived this second already, but you haven't. Your brain stores memories through two systems working in parallel. One records the experience, the other tags it as new or familiar. Normally, they fire in sync, but sometimes the familiarity signal fires a fraction of a second too early before the memory is fully stored. So your brain receives a signal that says, "You've seen this before," about something happening for the very first time. That dual check system is your memory's quality control. Without it, you couldn't tell yesterday from today. Real memories from imagined ones. Deja vu isn't a glitch in reality. It's proof your brain is keeping reality together. But what happens when the opposite fires? When something deeply familiar suddenly feels like you've never encountered it? Take your own name. Say it out loud, over and over. Around the 15th repetition, something shifts. The word stops making sense. The sounds become random noise. This is Jamais Vu, the opposite of deja vu. The deeply familiar suddenly feels completely unknown. It happens because of semantic satiation. When you repeat the same neural pattern too many times, your brain deliberately weakens the connection. It treats repetition without new information as noise and cuts the signal. This sounds terrifying, but it's the same system that lets you stop hearing the hum of your refrigerator, stop feeling clothes on your skin, and stop noticing the nose in your own field of vision. Your brain is constantly muting what doesn't matter. Jamais vu is what happens when it accidentally mutes something that does. And this next glitch uses the same principle, but targets your memory instead of your senses. You stand up knowing exactly what you need. You walk to the kitchen. The moment you cross the doorway, gone. You're staring at the counter with no idea why you came. This isn't distraction. Researchers at Notre Dame proved it. Memory errors spike every time someone passes through a physical boundary. Your brain uses doorways as triggers to purge short term memory. It treats each room as a new episode and clears the working memory from the last one to free processing power. Your working memory holds about 4 items at a time. If your brain didn't dump old context, every new room would be contaminated with thoughts from the previous one. The doorway effect isn't your brain forgetting, it's your brain choosing what to forget. So you can function in what comes next. Now, what happens when instead of clearing information, your brain starts fabricating sensation? Your phone buzzes in your pocket. You check nothing. No notification, no call. Blank screen. Studies show nearly 90% of phone users experience this regularly. Your leg felt something that didn't happen. Your brain is a prediction machine. When you carry a phone in the same pocket hundreds of times a day, it builds a predictive model for that stimulus. Over time, the prediction becomes so strong that a slight muscle twitch or fabric shift gets matched to the phone vibrating pattern, and your brain fires the alert before confirming. It's a false positive, but your brain would rather give you 100 false alarms than miss one real signal. Because in evolutionary terms, missing a signal meant death. Phantom vibration is your ancient survival system, hijacked by a device that didn't exist 20 years ago. And speaking of ancient survival systems, this next glitch triggers the moment you see a face that's almost, but not quite, human. A cartoon face feels warm. A real face feels normal. But somewhere in between, where the face is almost real, but something is slightly off, your brain triggers pure, gut level revulsion. This is the uncanny valley, and it's a defense mechanism. Your brain uses facial processing as a health and threat detector. A face that's close to human, but slightly distorted, triggers the same circuits that fire for disease or death. Your brain reads it as, this looks human, but isn't behaving like a living human. Throughout evolution, the most dangerous threat wasn't a predator, it was another human that wasn't what they appeared to be. Someone carrying disease, a corpse, a stranger imitating familiarity. The uncanny valley is your brain saying, this face is close enough to fool you, but I caught the difference. Now, what if your brain applied this same pattern matching power not to faces, but to memories? The Monopoly Man wears a monocle, except he doesn't. The line is, Luke, I am your father. Except it's, no, I am your father. The Berenstain Bears? Berenstain, with an A. Millions share the exact same wrong memories. This is the Mandela Effect. Your brain doesn't record memories like a camera. It compresses them, like a JPEG. It keeps the gist, discards the details, and when you recall, it reconstructs from fragments and fills gaps with whatever fits. The Monopoly Man is wealthy and old-fashioned. Monocles fit that archetype, so your brain adds one. The Star Wars line works better with Luke, so your brain edits the script. When millions of brains run the same compression algorithm on the same cultural reference, they produce the same artifact, the same false detail, independently. The Mandela Effect is your memory's compression engine, producing identical glitches across millions of processors. Now, from a glitch in memory to a glitch at the boundary between sleep and consciousness. You wake up, eyes open. You can see your room, but you can't move. Arms locked, legs frozen, and something is standing at the edge of your bed. About 8% of the population experiences this. The shadow figure, the chest pressure, the certainty that something is watching, all manufactured by your brain to save your life. During REM sleep, your brain activates muscle atonia, chemical paralysis of your entire body. Without it, you'd physically act out your dreams. People whose system fails injure themselves and their partners regularly. Sleep paralysis happens when you wake up before the atonia shuts off. Your body is locked in dream prevention mode, while your conscious mind comes online. The shadow figure? Your amygdala is still in REM overdrive, generating threat signals, and your visual cortex, still half dreaming, builds an image to match the fear. The paralysis is the safety system. The terror is a side effect of witnessing it while awake. One glitch remains, and this one doesn't distort a sensation or a memory. It makes reality itself feel fake. You're walking down the street and suddenly, reality stops feeling real. Buildings look flat, like painted backdrops. People seem scripted. Your own hands feel like they belong to a video game character. You're not dreaming. Your senses work perfectly, but the world feels performed. This is derealization, and it's actually the most protective glitch on this list. When emotional input becomes too intense, extreme stress, trauma, overwhelming anxiety, your brain disconnects your emotions from your senses. Your eyes still see, your ears still hear, but the emotional weight is stripped away. The world looks fake because your brain removed the layer that makes it feel meaningful. The alternative is worse. Unfiltered emotional overload causes cognitive collapse. Derealization is your brain sacrificing the feeling of reality to protect reality itself. It doesn't feel like protection, it feels like madness. But it's your brain making the hardest trade off it has: 8 glitches, 8 features. Your brain runs without your permission. None of them are malfunctions. Every single one is your brain choosing a small, controlled error to prevent a catastrophic one. Deja vu keeps your timeline intact. Jamais vu filters the noise. The doorway effect clears your memory. Phantom vibrations keep you alert. The uncanny valley guards against imposters. The Mandela effect compresses your past. Sleep paralysis locks your body. And derealization pulls the emergency brake before your mind breaks apart. The next time reality glitches, don't panic. Your brain is just doing its job.